Hi, my name is Riley Dawson, and this is my course review video assignment. I have my questions right here. The 4 knows. The first one is knowing yourself. Second one is knowing your students, knowing your content, which is what you teach, and knowing your pedagogy, which is how you teach it. The difference between personal and professional identity is your personal identity is how you identify yourself, what qualities and traits make up you as a person, and your professional identity is how you are as a teacher, how you present yourself professionally. And both of those are directly related because, who you are as a person is going to shape how you teach your students and how you are as a professional. Why does personal and professional identity teachers matter in physical education? And that is because when you really know yourself and you are able to teach your students in a professional way, your students get the absolute best, highest quality of education and physical education. What differentiates a job and a profession, an employee and a professional? A job is definitely something that somebody does for money, and a professional is somebody who comes to work because they love it. They are prepared, they're qualified, and they're motivated to do what they love. How is student identity related to PE and teaching? This is the whole conversation about, teachers are filters, and, when you create, your lessons and you convey, your lessons and ideas to your students, how they identify and how they interpret it is going to be different for everybody. And every student is diverse, and celebrating that diversity and including everybody will help students learn better. What is bias and how is it salient to physical education? Bias is someone's natural dislike to certain things, and this is directly related to PE because it's someone's personal interest in what they're going to be doing in physical education, how they focus on them. And if a student isn't focused on something because of their own bias, they're not going to want to learn. What is culturally relevant pedagogy? That is helping students develop positive identities with themselves and to recognize, inequalities so students can learn and succeed. What does savage inequalities reveal about students, teaching, schools, and money? The author shows a huge difference between, those rich and poor schools, and how the poor schools, they don't really have a lot of funding. And, the rich schools, they have everything they need. They have the funding, they have the well-paid teachers who, kind of give them more motivation to want to teach the students. And, in turn, it's really unfair how the students who come from those low socioeconomic areas, they don't really have the best quality education as the richer schools, and that's really unfair. What is physical education? Physical education is a learning process that touches on the attitudes, the knowledge, and the behaviors around physical activity. Next question. What should be the priority of a goal-oriented teacher? And that is always, always, always student learning. And as a teacher, teaching is meaningless, without a goal, for the students to achieve. What is learning? That is a relatively permanent change in behavior as a result of teaching. You can sit there and memorize something all day, but unless, it actually sticks with you, that's the difference between memorizing something and actually learning it. The domains of learning are affective, psychomotor, and cognitive. This is important to physical education because, the affective domain is, are they enjoying what they're doing? Are they happy? Are they, bonding with their teammates? Cognitive is, do they know what they're doing and why? Do they know how to do it? And the affective domain the psychomotor domain is, are they completing the task at hand correctly? Are they using proper form and, making steps to try their best and, complete it? What is the relation of active and fun to physical education? Usually if a teacher doesn't have any goals, they'll kind of, be one of those roll the ball out teachers, and they'll make their lessons fun and active, but there's no student learning. Sometimes too often you go into a high school and you see students maybe just walking the track while some students are doing something over here, some students are doing over here, and there's no real instruction. There's no student learning. What perspectives influence what is taught in PE? This is basically, what's going on in society, what's happening now. In class we touched on, COVID and, teachers using, technology in the classroom. Just basically stuff like that, talking about the umbrella model and how it really all kind of ties back to the culture, like what is going on in the world. And how can we continue to evolve our lessons so students can learn and succeed. What is the difference between outcomes and goals? Goals are really overarching, they're broad, and outcomes are, objectives are more specific. So example, if your goal is to become healthier, an objective could be, to move your body for 30 to 60 minutes every day. And we talked about, any objective can be a goal as long as the objective is smaller, more narrow. And finally, what role do the national standards play in PE? This is, the knowledge, the skills, the dispositions in PE that we're, going to be teaching. The national standards are kind of right underneath of the culture in the world, because when you have, that strong standard, it creates, a good curriculum, which creates a good unit plan, which creates a good lesson, which creates positive student learning. Yeah, thank you.